Hello, everybody. Once again, thank you very much for joining me again. On Monday, on Sunday, I tried to have Morayo Afolabi-Brown talk about the Endsars protest and her view on this. So I'll be asking her to join us again very soon to talk more on this. Last time the network was really crappy. And hi, Linda. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Denigma Tikon. Green Fingers, thank you so much for joining us. Morayo will be joining us. Yay, Gochi is here. Thank you so much. Morayo will be joining us in just a few seconds. Basically, what has been happening across Nigeria and even across Africa, they've really bothered me. From Congo to Guinea to Cameroon to Nigeria, especially when it comes to the protests in Nigeria, it's been a source of worry for many people, including myself. Morayo has joined us. Hi, Mo. Hi. So I would quickly add her. Oops. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. So Morayo is joining us in a few seconds, especially in Congo. Yes. Hi, Mo.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you?
Hi. I'm good, and you? Sorry, I
Good,
need to
good.
fix this cutting off my.
Even I
Oops.
need some light. I didn't realize I need some lights also. You look nice and bright. How are you?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I mean, last time I felt really bad that it didn't happen, but it's good to have you back now.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'll start with asking you, when the protest started, or what came to mind? I have some quotes of things you wrote down, but I'll ask that later. What did you think of when you first heard about this protest across Nigeria?
Yeah, I think I was happy, like most average Nigerian person was happy because we felt that we finally found our voice. We felt that we've gotten to that critical point where we had the leaders' ears, we had the global attention, Nigerians in diaspora were all participating. So it was a good time, it was a good space to be in. And I was very proud to be a Nigerian youth at that time. And I felt that, yes, finally we're there, you know? And as we progressed in the protests and all that, at some point I felt like, okay, yes, we've gotten the attention quite all right. Maybe it's time for us to have a conversation. But there was a fear of we not trusting each other to get a leader. We don't want to trust anybody because we feel that somebody will sell the entire youth population out. So they're saying we'd rather just not have any leaders. But I didn't think that was sustainable. I just felt at some point we have to just agree to say, you A, B, C, D, represent us and have a conversation. That was my position until Tuesday when that happened, when the army came and opened fire on civilians. And that's when I said, you know what? These guys don't even deserve to have a conversation with. I mean, we can't have a conversation with people who are ready to kill us. So that's when I had a change of heart. But since then, I've kept away from the news. I have no idea what's going on out there. I mean, I'm hearing bits and pieces here and there, but we're hearing lots of stories. But as I said, from the protest point of view, I'm proud to be a Nigerian at this time. I'm proud to be 40 years at this time. I can tell this story to my youth, my kids as a growing up. We're here, we're in Nigeria. We're not on the streets because of the job we do, but we protested online. We made sure our voices were heard. And even if we go back history, we can say, yes, we participated in what happened.
Yeah, I mean, that moment for me, I also felt very proud. And you wouldn't believe in Morayo, I cried. I said, is this Nigeria? Is this going to happen for real?
Yeah.
Will an ordinary Nigerian child be able to go to school and have a good education? And I cried. I sang. I wouldn't remember the last time I really sincerely sang the national anthem, but I sang it once. I was proud. That night that we had the candlelight all over, especially in Lagos, I cried and I sang the anthem. And then this happened, and I mean, I
very
was
emotional
shocked.
time for all of us. Everybody sang the national anthem, and we were just an emotional period. You're right. We never thought this would get to this point, but at the same time, we don't want to lose this. We have this great opportunity, and we don't want to lose it. And it's important that we all come together and have a consensus on what the next steps are.
Yeah, but when you say come together, some have said, I mean, this is not the first time people are protesting in Nigeria. This might be the biggest protest in Nigeria, especially because of the online components. But they said it's not the first time. People don't trust the government anymore. I mean, and look at what has happened. This protest was very organized. We had helplines functioning. We had ambulances. You know, it was unbelievable what people could. Oh, you have like look at it's
Yeah,
brighter now. What people, yeah, can achieve. You know, in just a short while. You know, so they've said we've been protesting and they're not listening to us. What do you think should be the next step?
Well, I think they have listened, in fairness. It's just that we're not totally happy about what the results we're getting yet, because we want things to happen overnight. I think for the past 2 weeks, what has been obvious is that there's a pyramid, and most of us in that middle level, young people that went to school, educated, have some exposure, we fully forgot about the bottom rack. We totally have forgot about these guys have the capacity to express themselves in a totally different way that we do up here. So I think what this has taught us that in whatever we do, we must consider the lowest rung of the economy, lowest rung of the people, of the social class, and see how we can carry them along. So we need to have a conversation. And I think what I was telling a few people is that this time where every average youth seem to have something against the government, is the time to begin to form alliances. For me, that was attack. It's a good time for me to go out there, identify with those who attacked me, say that, listen, we're in this together. You did this to me. I ain't mad at you. I understand was your own way of expressing yourself. However, this is our country. We need to move this country forward. So instead of me to go get mad, it's about to really have a conversation with them, because that's what I should be doing as a citizen. You've attacked us. You've destroyed this, but we're not mad at you. You only understand you're venting your anger. But that's loyalty you've shown to the politicians for many years. I want you to divert that energy to us. Let us join us in this protest. Join us in this movement so that we can actually take Nigeria back. So that when 2023 comes, we have that critical mass of young people who are ready to take the country forward. So that's really how I see it.
Yeah, I'll bring you back to what you talked about, the National Reformation Youth Conference. But I'll read a quote from you. You said, as I've observed the protests in the last few days, it is clear the youth have seen the power in the numbers and they are determined to use it. It's now time for dialogue, not with the government, but with ourselves. I think that also, resonates with what you just said.
Yeah.
But I'll ask you, on this day, you said someone held a bottle or a knife.
Yeah.
What did you see in his eyes? What did you see in his eyes?
Rage. I saw rage. So when I was attacked, when we jumped over the fence and the guy came at me, first he threw a stone at me, then he threw a pole at me, he missed both times, and he took my phone and he was angry that I was going live. And
yeah, I saw that.
He used his fist and smacked me twice, almost to put me back in order. And the second guy came with a broken green bottle. He had a white scarf on his head, and his eyes were open like this. He had rage in his eyes, and I was so scared. And it was almost he didn't look under the influence. He was very conscious. He didn't look like someone that was under the influence of anything. He was very conscious, and he told me that if I don't drop that phone, he's going to stab me. Now, because I was not aware of what was happening elsewhere, I didn't know if people had been killed, I didn't know if people had been maimed. I was fearful because we saw the fires, but we just did not know who was hurt, if anybody was killed or stabbed. So I was scared out of my own wits, thinking that this guy might just kill me at this moment. But so I saw rage, I saw anger. The 4 guys attacked us. 2 of the guys, one guy initially, the one that took stuff from Doctor's bag, was saying that, I've taken your money, okay, you can go, don't worry, we don't have to hurt you. The other guy was saying, don't take our phone, don't take our phone. Then the guy punched him for saying that, what do you mean by that? He started beating the guy. What do you mean I will not take our phone? They're beating each other. So obviously you could tell opportunist also, the one I saw. That came to attack us. But I saw, for me, I could see anger, people taking an opportunity to just rage somewhere. They feel that, oh, you guys are having better off than us, so let me go take everything that you have, So I mean, it was a horrible experience, but I thank God for life.
You saw hopelessness, you saw rage, you saw anger in his eyes,
yes.
And you saw someone who the government had failed. He shouldn't be here ordinarily.
Absolutely. I saw somebody who, these are people that they felt anger, and that was the only way they knew how to vent that anger. They were angry at us that it seemed like you guys, because they didn't care. They were burning stuff, you know. So these are guys that they didn't care. They could care less. But many of them said they did not come here to kill. They were careful that they did not come here to kill. They came here for their own objective. And I'm thankful to God that, you know, it didn't get to the point where, because people got hurt. People got hurt, you know. And I'm happy that I was able to get out alive.
So I'll now ask you about your comment on the National Reformation Youth Conference. Could you help us understand that?
Right. Now, the reason why I think we need a National Reformation Youth Conference is because we've had several conferences in the past, and for varied reasons, they've not been able to ratify many of the conclusions from these conferences. Now that we have a critical mass of young people coming together to talk, I think, you see, I feel that the government we have will be happy to hand over power to us once we come across as organized. Right now,
think so?
There's really no organization. Let me tell you why. They don't want to leave power. They really truly don't. But if we are, do you see how they respected the fact that they were all amazed that you guys had an ambulance, you had a charging port, you had food, you had ways to care for people during that period. They were wowed that you guys are so organized. That in itself is disarming for any older person that, these guys have impressed me. So imagine in the same manner, we come up with a blueprint that we had our own virtual conference with young people. Now, maybe 3,000 people across 3,000 Nigerians across the world came together and we sat down and we ratified this document. These are our demands. We want the next president to be 35 years old. We want the kindergarten, you know, and they see the numbers and see, trust me,
the numbers.
They're afraid of the numbers. But so far, we have the better ideas, but we've not been able to put it together. We need to really consolidate all that experience, all that exposure into one and say, this is what we want. It is this or nothing. But right now, it's still a bit scattered. So the politicians now can still maneuver in between us. They can still shakara us. I beg. Don't worry, to die down. Yeah, to die down because we're not organized. So that conference helps us to put everything in proper perspective. Let the Igbo man come. Let the Shekiri man come. Let the Hausa, let everybody come together. Let's draft our own version of what the constitution should look like. Let us see our own, let us build our own Nigeria. Not the Nigerians of their own dream. The Nigerians of our own dream. Let us reconstruct it. If it's restructuring, let us construct it ourselves. And then bring it to the table. Mr. President Buhari, this is what we have agreed. You do it, you do this, you do that. If not, you're out of here. Same with all the parties. If you guys cannot ratify this, we're just getting the youth support in 2023. You know, that for me is a formidable approach than just being all this, yeah. You know, for me, so we have to become more organized. That's pretty much my own perspective. Get organized.
People are commenting, and a lot of people have said, I don't agree with you. These guys don't want to leave power. They want to hold on to it, you know, for as long as possible.
And I rephrased that, Ugochi. I said, I'm not saying that they want to release power. Nobody wants. They've told us that power is not served à la carte. Nobody wants to say, yeah, come and take over my power. You are the madam in your house. You now want somebody, second wife, to come and take over the power in your house? Absolutely not. Nobody wants to release power. Absolutely not. But the way we wowed the world, with the way we did a protest, where people were resilient, they stood, they didn't care about the weather. That in itself shows that we are focused. If we do that in a bigger picture, where we have a document backing up what our demands are, not just for Endsars, but as a country itself, we built the country we want. Trust me, when they see we have the numbers and we're organized, they will be forced to come to the table. They will be
that's some strong
during
faith.
elections, during elections, it is just people, youth. They look for. It's not the youth that votes. It's the same youth. So if these youth that vote for you during the elections now have gathered themselves together and say, oh God, we don't do it again. Either these documents or nothing. They will be forced to come to the table. That's what I'm saying. So where we are right now is organization. Let us be clear. Let us trust each other. If you bring in a Miss James to be your leader and you say, after 2 months, Miss James, you're not doing it here, carry your bag and go. Next. Mr. James, do your own. You know, let us try people. If you don't like them, we have a great opportunity to do that. Let us not be afraid of getting leaders at this time.
I'm glad you mentioned the constitution there, but also, and then you also mentioned, you know, different tribes coming together. That brings me to the question of those who try to bring in at least the ethnic element into this. You know, they tried. And how proud are you of the Gen Z that said that refused to buy this? You know, we saw those from the past generation. They brought it up after they went. I mean, nobody cared who was organizing the ambulances. Nobody cared that the word was Sorosoke. You know, we didn't care. You know, and then these people came in, you know, towards the end and they started saying, oh, it's Yoruba, it's Igbo,
Let me tell you
it was
something.
shocking to me.
I think one thing that young people have realized, the moment people start throwing in religion, ethnicity, let us know it's from the politicians. Because the Nigeria that we are breaking, that we are birthing, doesn't see that. The Nigeria that we are birthing doesn't see color, doesn't see tribe, doesn't see religion. It sees a Nigerian, a oneness. And people criticize me when I said, I'm first a Nigerian, I'm a Yoruba woman. Oh, people criticize me. Yoruba, how can you say that? I'm not saying I'm an anti, I'm not Yoruba. I'm a proud Yoruba girl, absolutely. But the nation we are birthing sees me first as a Nigerian. Because when you travel abroad, nobody remembers that, oh, yeah, Ugochi, oh, she's Igbo, oh, she's not, but you're just a Nigerian. That's how the world sees you. They don't care which tribe you're from. It's just now that people are getting to know that, okay, there are various tribes. But before, when you've traveled anywhere in the world, you're just Nigerian. That's the identity we must begin to carry. And we must bet the identity of a Nigerian first. Define who a Nigerian is. If the language of a Nigerian is speaking English, so be it. Let us all start speaking English. Let it become official. The point is that we must rebirth this country to what we want it to be. So I'm so happy that young people didn't buy that kind of the ethnic sentiment. We shouldn't be buying it. We passed that level, Ugochi. I'm telling you, I was so proud when Nigerians stood up against it. We have passed that level. The ones that where we are right now we have a rare opportunity to tell the politicians that we're not going to let you use us anymore. We are here because we want a change, and a change we must have. I think that's pretty clear.
Absolutely. Before I talk about the palliatives and the disappointing, you know, discoveries that we've made, I had an interview yesterday and someone said we should stop calling them youth leaders, and that's why the politicians treat us the way they treat us, because we're leaders, not youth leaders, you know, not young leaders. A leader is a leader. You know, do you agree with that as well?
Once you have influence, absolutely. A leader definitely somebody who has influence and who is able to galvanize people towards a vision. So I agree. Maybe there's no youth leader, but the idea is that we need leadership. I think that's a critical point we are right now. We must, whoever we've agreed to be our leader, let us trust the person is going to work in our interest. If we're not sure, let's say, you know what, you're going to be the leader for the next 3 months. We'll again review again. But I think we have a good number of Nigerians who have shown commitment in the last few weeks. And I think we should give them a chance. But you see, I don't want us to mix activism and what's the word I'm looking for? Activism and proper governance, because they are two different things. The activists are the ones that are going to get us that change. But those who are educated, who are the ones who are going to birth this good new government for us, this new Nigeria that we're asking for. They're the ones that are going to think it critically and see what we're going to work for everybody and make it happen. So we must differentiate between those who are saying, hey, yeah, die or not die. They are those. We need them at this point. But as we are simmering down, it's time for us to now have a conversation, bring in the brightest amongst us to sit down and say, what do we do? How do we split this country? How do we ensure that we're united? How do we ensure that all our resources are used for our various regions? How do we ensure that every single Nigerian benefits from the resources that is God-given in this country? How do we ensure that every child is educated? How do we ensure that every community has a health facility? These are things that concerns us, and that's what we must begin to do.
Okay, then I wanted to ask you your personal experience. Some people have shared their personal experiences. I would say my brother was stopped by SARS once. What personal experience do you have to share? You know, the person I spoke to yesterday also said that he's gone to, you know, to the prisons or to the police station to bail loads of young people just because of the way they dress, arrested because of the way they dress or the way they look. What personal experience do you have?
For me, I haven't personally been stopped by SARS, but I've had to bail out people. Even in my TVC, I've had people in my TVC that called me, that I had to start calling commissioners and calling people. They were now calling people. I mean, I went there. There was one that myself and Faladele's sister went to the police station in Ogudu. That Ogudu, maybe I don't even know maybe that's where they brought it, but it was very notorious then. We went there. We went to go and I had to do a lot of work, put money here, put money there. It was crazy. What did the boy do? The boy didn't do jack. He had dreadlocks on. Suddenly he's rude because he has dreadlocks on. So these are things I have seen myself, and I've had an experience with, and so I've had to go bail people out, and it has cost me. And the fact that the kids who don't do anything have to sleep over in the police station because of what we see. Things they knew nothing about, simply because of how they look. So that's the experience I've had so far, and it's really disheartening.
Disheartening, and also disheartening to see the store warehouses of palliatives. You know, I'm sure you also had people coming to beg you for food during that period. We saw videos of teachers who were crying for food, and these things were all packed somewhere.
Now, I've not read too much about their palliative. I've not been online for the past few days, so I've not really followed. I've been hearing about it. I haven't read it thoroughly to know exactly what happened, but it is quite sad to know if indeed it happened that palliatives were stored away and not distributed to people. That in itself is horrible. During that time, I knew how to spend personal funds to give people money. I'm not the type to go out because I'm not very good at doing all those things, but I can just hand over, transfer, send me account number, transfer money to you, you know. So I know how much it costs me personally to keep people, to help people run their homes during that period. So yeah, I think it was wrong. And I think what was even more disheartening was somebody was saying that he wanted to distribute it on his birthday. And I'm thinking, is it your father's property? Is it your property? I don't understand. So, but you see, I can't totally blame them. We've allowed these things for many years. A politician is doing father's burial. They want to turn over the grave. They will now go and give out government property. Or they want to do empowerment. They will now buy bikes. They'll give out half of it. They'll keep the remaining half. Or, you know, we've permitted these things. You see, I honestly, one of the reasons why I don't personally like engaging these people is because they are used to the way. You cannot take you can't change what has been like that for so many years. You have to birth a new one. So these politicians are used to distributing things that belong to government on their own personal birthday, like it's their own personal property. That's their mentality. We need to change that when we begin to have a new breed of young people. So people like that, and nobody has said anything. Shouldn't he be reprimanded? Shouldn't he be questioned? On what basis would you do that on your birthday? These are questions. These are legitimate questions. Sorry?
They're making several excuses. They're saying, oh, we wanted to share it. Or I even heard today they were waiting for the second wave. Oh my God.
These are critical questions that they actually have to ask each other. But you know what? For me, those are still petty. That for me, get the politics out. There are more important things for us to do right now. Let's not lose the momentum we've garnered in the last 2 weeks. Let's get serious and begin. I think it was who said it that we start our voters registration? I think it was who said it recently. Somebody was saying that they should begin voters.
That's a campaign.
They should begin voters registration now. Let everybody begin to register because we must ensure that 2023, our own voices are heard. And how would you hear? Not because somebody will give you candidate. No. You have to have a whole new party. A whole new party is the way. Now, I don't know about any party. I've not joined any party. I've not joined any party in my life before. But the truth is that we cannot continue. See, Gochi, at some point, this was going to happen. And I'm sure our leaders know it. We cannot continue the way we've been continuing for many years. There was no way. You know, China like this, we go there. It's impossible. At some point, it's got to give. So leaders who are democratic, who are visionary, they're not very, very, they're not surprised about what's happening because they know at some point your reign will end. It can't continue like this forever. So I think that is where we are, and I think we all must. Nobody should be afraid of this season. We must be able to say yes. When it happened, I spoke up and I played my part in this entire process.
Yeah, I've seen videos or heard stories of politicians whose houses were burnt or they were attacked, and then we've seen those who were out in the streets and everybody, I mean, cherished them and loved them and supported them just because of who they are. So it's about you know, who this politician is not necessarily about your party, but who are you? We've also seen police officers like the one we had in Onitsha. You know, in spite of everything, people came out to support him, to love him. And it's not even from the East, it's from northern Nigeria, and they love him because he's a good officer. You know, I would ask you about what do you think your father would say, you know, to all of this happening? He was the national, he was the, absolutely.
My dad is somebody that, you know, he practically trained Femi Falana. I mean, I know growing up, as a child, I used to carry, Femi Falana used to carry, like be my father. They're always together. It was like my father's, I don't want to use the word intern, but it was like, was just what my dad was. And I used to see him, he used to come to every Saturday. Like every Saturday he was in our house. And he would have been proud of Falz by now, obviously, because you feel that, okay, this is the son of somebody who I practically trained. And Femi Falana is someone that we totally respect in our family, highly respect in our family. And my dad will be very proud of this season. He'll be proud of what I do. He'll be proud that I'm letting my voice be heard. And I think he'll be nudging me right now to just do what I want to do. Speak your mind. Don't let anybody hold you down, Morayo. He will tell you, because when I was growing up, he would sit me down and explain to me. The other day that he said, listen, the military government has just paid, he told me the amount, I won't say the amount outside. He said they want to bribe me with this amount of money. And they're promising me free, whatever, they're just promising me stuff. But I have refused to collect it. Because I want you to hold up your head high and say, your father never collected bribe. And that, I mean, then it was like, I beg. Because when I was in university, I'm like, if you had collected small bribe now, at least would have been in a Harvard. All my colleagues have gone to Cambridge. I remember, I knew my brother's friends, they're all in Cambridge, you know, we were just managing normal university, you know. So I used to feel like, at least collect small money now. At least would have left Bagada. We're living in Bagada. All your people they've all migrated to Ikoyi. At least we have something decent. My father never collected any money. But today I can proudly say that I'm happy, even though with all that wahala and all that stress. I can say it now. I don't have any fears to say that, listen, my father never collected bribe from any man. On the contrary, he was doing cases for free for people. He
no entanglement
for free. He never got paid for one kobo. You know, because he believed in June 12. He believed in it. So my father will be proud of me today. And I'm happy he left the legacy he did. So that people so today, I can boldly say, listen, I'm a product of hard work. And I don't need to collect bribe. I don't need to collect bribe. Honestly, well, like the life. The way I was raised, I don't need your money. And they know I don't collect their money. I can know people, but I won't come to you to come and ask you for money. I don't need it. I know you because if I need information about something, I can call you. Not because I want you to come and give me contract. I'm not going to go and ask anybody for contract. And nobody can say that I come there to come and ask them for contract. Absolutely. So I say that confidently and boldly. So the truth is that my father will be proud of me, and I'm proud of how far I've come so far today.
I'm proud, and the protest, he'll be proud of the protest as well, because he also stood for
absolutely. My daddy will be definitely proud of it. He was part of all, you see, someone was telling me about the story about how he was involved in protests. He was always the NLC guy. I mean, he was one of their first lawyers back then in the Nigerian Labour Congress, and he was always pro the people, what the people want, you know. So that's the kind of person he is.
And talking about being proud of you and telling you to, you know, speak truth to power. People have asked me, why did she even go to work on that day? They said what was happening. But earlier you talked about why you went to work. You know, you had to go. You know, you were angry. No makeup. You know, you were angry.
But I mean, people are asking, like, why did you even go to work as a person? You see, before that day, we got lots of condemnation. All these Ashiwaju girls, what are they talking about? The only people to be paid. Yes, we work for a station. The man has said that he's an investor in the company. He has said it to himself. But the truth is, every Nigerian was angry about Lekki Tuesday, on that toll gate issue. And it will be totally wrong for us, as ladies of your view, not to use the power we have of the media. Because lots of people watch that show. Our show is very, very powerful because people watch it. So we had a voice. So if anybody's venting online, we are almost guaranteed that the people that need to hear our venting are going to be watching that show. So we, the ladies that had that power, wanted to be on the show to express what Nigerians are expressing. So if you're not on Twitter, because many of our ladies are not, they're not online. Many of them aren't. So they're saying they're complaining online. Hey, sorry, okay. Many of them have no idea what's going on online. But I know they watch television. So we had to use the power we had to speak what Nigerians are speaking. So they hear that what was done was wrong. Now, of course, they're hearing that all sorts of reports are coming out, and we'll wait for the reports to come out and see. But at that day, the anger in the land was, there was no reason why army should be sent to those people in the first place. You killed or you did not kill. What were you doing at that Lekki toll gate in the first place? Why did you open fire in the first place? These are questions that people wanted answers to, and I had to go to the show.
Absolutely, it was really a sad day for everybody. And then your job as a journalist. Some have said, you know, these people on TV, they're not journalists. They just sit pretty on TV. You know, they don't take any risks. But I'm sure the people are shocked that so pretty girls on TV can actually, you know, experience this.
Yes.
I've been out in the field. You know, I remember when I went to the Niger Delta. I remember, you know, I was scared because the reporting was going well, and then we started seeing people, you know, on bikes coming, and they're calling. Oh, some people are here. I was terrified.
It was fine, but on the boat, I saw one with you on the canoe. I think I was like, oh my goodness, this girl. You want because of story. You want to go and kill yourself. So these are the things you do to risk your life that people don't see. You know, I love my job because you can see different sides of us. You can see the mommy side, the wifey side, the professional side, the parts where we risk our lives. You can see it all, and you realize that we're true. One of the reasons why I created that show was I wanted Nigerians who had an opinion. So we didn't start out as journalists. Now, I mean, I can confidently say yes, my degree now. Nobody can come and do shakara for me. I don't get a degree. I'm working on my degree. But the idea was to have women, regular women who have an opinion, to come and express their views, so that Nigerians can see that women have an opinion. So we didn't start out as being journalists on the show. We were average Nigerian women who had an opinion about governance. We have an opinion about issues. Because then, back before the show started, it was only men. They were talking about what happened in government, as if it was only them that had an opinion. Only men were talking about politics, and they did this. Price of rice has gone up. Nobody was talking about what women were feeling. So I said, you know what? This show must have only women. They begged me to put a man. I said, no. We hear men all the time. I want to hear what women are thinking. So I brought in different kinds of women. Married, old, young, divorced, single, every type. Come and let Nigerians hear our daily experiences. And we've grown over time. And even now, as a professional, because I've gotten my certification now, I feel much better because it's better that I can be able to now lead and direct the conversation. So that we're working within principles of our profession. But the truth is that the originality of the show is not to bring in professionals, it's to bring in young women, real women, to express their views as they see it.
Absolutely. So what is your view, Morayo, on gender? Women have really led this protest. What do you think? How do you feel knowing that women led this protest and a lot of men accepted them? I mean, at some point they started making statements about, oh, they're lesbians, they're this, they're that, you know, but women have really been at the forefront.
You know, I don't like, what I liked most about the women that led is that they call it feminism core. Feminism, you see, they outrightly, listen, take it or leave it. And because they were so organized, they had the accountability of how much is spent, how much was received, how much was given out, how much was left. You couldn't really criticize them. So women did play a role. And I think it just reminds us that women must be allowed at the table. You cannot move this country forward if women don't have a voice, don't have a say. Because for whatever reason, we are able to put things in proper perspective. Yes, men are very good analytically, but women are just as good analytically too. They have shown that. They've demonstrated that in recent times. So I think in the new Nigeria we're birthing, we must include all stakeholders. It's not about your gender. It's not about your religion. It's not about your culture. It's about who Nigeria wants us to, where we are taking Nigeria to. And that's what we're relevant. So for me, I was proud of them. I was proud of the work they've done. And I think we should encourage them. We shouldn't criticize them. Don't label them like, oh, they are this. That's none of your business. And feminism doesn't mean that we don't uphold who a man is. Feminism does mean that we believe in the equal rights of a woman. That's simply what it is. So I think they should be celebrated and encouraged. And the Nigeria we're talking about is not about women, man. It's about Nigeria. I want a better Nigeria for my children, be it man or woman. So let us not play that feminism card or women card. Let's focus on the objective. Let them not divide us based on those things that we created. Those are concepts that we created ourselves. The only thing that should be on our mind is that new Nigeria that we're dreaming of. That should be paramount in our minds.
New Nigeria, and we have a lot of people who said you shouldn't leave us behind. These are those in the diaspora. They've also contributed to this. They donated money. They had campaigns. So do you think we should be calling for diaspora votes to be allowed in the elections?
Ugochi, diaspora youth are one of the most important, critical elements of this new Nigeria. Let me tell you why. Number one, they are not here. They are seen from outside within, from outside out, from outside in, and they are better able to advise. Many of them have a lot of experience that some of us don't have here. And I think we have to always remember what India did. India doesn't take lightly the Indians in diaspora. We need their expertise. We need their experience. We need their involvement. Those of them have been involved in governance, in politics. Those have been involved in corporate world abroad. Those have been involved in various sectors. We need those brains back home to join what we have, because we have local intelligence. We have that intelligence with here. So we need to marry that to now give this new thing we're talking about, New Nigeria. So the New Nigeria is not about those of us that are here alone. No. There's a huge portion of that involves those Nigerians abroad, because they have a lot of knowledge, a critical mass of knowledge that we can use.
Therefore, they should be able to vote. They should be able to vote from wherever they are. Therefore, they should be allowed to vote from wherever they are.
I believe so, but I think it's a hard sell. For many reasons, it's a hard sell at this time. We would like them to vote. But I think there are other, aside from the good idea of having young people vote, I think there are other security issues, elements, factors that might not make that a reality at this time. But what is more important for me is that we have to come together with Nigerians in the diaspora. They, first of all, need to get organized amongst themselves. Imagine there's a critical mass of XYZ Diaspora Forum that has this huge membership, and they're having conferences, and they are a big body, and they have resources, and they pull it from them, and they say, Nigerian youth, what is your party? Tell me the name of your party. Let us come together. We're going to fund it. So they are more positioned to help us here. Imagine if they're well organized from all over Canada, US, Australia, everybody come together, France, Germany, and there's this trust of togetherness. And then it comes to Nigeria and say, guys, give us your political party. We want to fund you guys. We want to support you. Do this. And we bring them together. So it's not time for us to be saying, oh, they are there. Oh, we are here. No. We have those numbers. Let's use every resource we have, locally and internationally. This is the time for us to begin to tap into those resources. And I think it's a
finally, before I let you go, leave no one behind again. As I said before you came in, I'm concerned about Africa. I'm concerned about Congo. I'm concerned about Cameroon. I'm concerned about Guinea. How can Africa, galvanize to become a formidable force? We have resources. It hurts to see that Africa is suffering.
I agree with you. I think that, you see, the big giants, Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, these are the big names, the big African countries people know around the world. I think we need to pick up our brothers and sisters in different parts of the country, parts of Africa together. We can't leave them alone because they are almost absorbed in all this. Nobody really sees them. It's Nigeria that's in the news, South Africa in news. But when something happens in Congo, Zimbabwe, it doesn't get that much coverage. So I think we also must take responsibility as Nigeria to also give them that space, that media space. We need to demonstrate that brotherliness, showing that we are here together. let them know that we're in this together and we're supporting them the best we can. Not just when our president flies over and visits them. No, 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 no. We Nigerians must be as concerned as they about them as they should be about us. So I think for us to have that holistic change across Africa, the giants must begin to take those other ones seriously. Pay attention to their news. Pay attention to their politics. Pay attention to the critical young people in those countries. Know who they are. Let's meet once a year, twice a year. Let's begin to have a meeting point, a melting point for all of us. You see, the leaders have done theirs, Ugochi, and that's the final point I would like to make here. Leaders have done theirs. We must demonstrate already. How do we do that? We must show our character. We must show that we are ready, by birthing this new Africa. We are bringing Ghana, we're bringing Zimbabwe, we're bringing Congo, we're bringing everybody together. We know them. They must know us. So let us do it ourselves. Let's lead by our own example. Let's find out today. So I should be talking to leaders like me, media personalities like me in Congo. They should know me. I should know them. I should be talking to media personalities in Ghana. I should be talking to media personalities in Zimbabwe. Sharing ideas.
Absolutely.
So when something big happens,
Absolutely.
we all come together to support each other. Because
Absolutely.
Africa belongs to us. And only us, especially the giants. We are the ones that can actually help push this and get them on the table too. So I think it's our responsibility totally.
And the giants must not be sleeping, and that's why people in Nigeria
we're awake now. They don't wake us. I think the giants are the young kids are grown up. They don't wake up. They are awake now.
Yeah, lots of comments here, loads of comments, and the people are especially asking Morayo, when is your view coming back? That's the
I don't have your view will be coming back very soon. I don't want to give a date until I have express permission from TVC to do so, but very soon we'll be back up. We're just trying to rest for a few days. Don't worry. We'll be back very soon. Your view ain't going nowhere. We're coming right stronger and better. The ladies are ready. Gun. And we're ready to take over. No problem. We'll be all right.
Yeah, it broke my heart to see my office after 4 years burned down. You know, I cried, Morayo. I cried.
We go there. Nothing. She. It's not left in that place. She.
I have a part of me there, you know.
I know. There's no way you come to TVC and not have a part of you in TVC. Trust me. There's no way. TVC is home for us, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Thank God.
Thank you so much, Mo. Thank you so much, my boss.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, everyone who joined in. There are loads of you. I can't mention names, but I remember the first person who joined, Linda Osaka. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, guys.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll continue our series on HAPS News. You can download that and join me for more conversations. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Environmental and, of course, political, everything happening across the world.
Yes, so environmental.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah. Bye.